and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7-Figure Fashion Business Podcast,
where we talk about the fashion industry and how to get your fashion business to 7 figures.
From manufacturing strategies, cut and sew designers, to fashion hot topics and the latest fashion trends, I'm your host, Monica Monique.
And I'm your host, XYZ. And let's jump into today's episode.
Hello.
This is Deja.
And this is Monica Monique.
Feels good to be back. Feel weird.
You say that every time we hear. You say it feels good to be back. It's been so long.
No, when we don't be here, usually we be here a lot.
Yeah.
Then we'll take, it would be like a random break.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh wow, I forgot how it felt to be here.
Yeah. It's always nice to get
a good positive energy.
Yeah, positive energy, get the podcast going, get the conversations going. And I feel like it also gets our mind flowing in different directions, and we get ideas and bounce stuff off of each other and like kind of start our week, our midweek off right. What are you wearing, Zee?
It's not Shane Justin.
Though it does have his vibe.
It's actually Jisoo Woo.
Okay, and that is?
Shane Justin's boyfriend. Well, ex-boyfriend. They broke up.
Okay.
He said he isn't gay anymore.
And this is not the podcast. And that's none of my business.
This is fashion news, so he is.
Is it fashion news?
He is in fashion.
His sexual? No. No thanks.
But I put this probably like 2 years ago.
It's very cute. Describe what you're wearing for the people.
So it's a velour sweatsuit. Is a highlighter color.
Yeah, like a lime green.
Rhinestones on the sides. Mm-hmm. Real cute. But
very cute.
When I first bought it, it was I ordered a small, and it was huge.
Okay.
It was like really huge. And when I first bought it just looked a mess.
Is this the same small?
This is the same. I washed it.
Oh, okay. And it maybe shrunk a little bit.
It shrunk, and now it's cute.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just like real saggy. I just looked. I wore it, and I had wore it to this party, this Airbnb. Okay. And the boy was like, well, he was talking about me to one of my friends.
Okay. Right. Frenemies.
And he was like, why she got that on? She looked like a highlighter.
Anyway, hate to see me shining. You gonna see me shining.
I got pictures
of what it looked like before.
Or maybe I just gained weight. What you think?
It doesn't even matter. It looks good.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I picked this out last night. And I'm like, oh, this is cute. I forgot about it. I love when you go through your clothes.
Yeah.
And you forget about something. And then.
Yeah. Ask me what I'm wearing, Zee.
What is this?
Not what is this? Wow.
What are you wearing?
See, you see frenemies.
Nah.
Frenemies coming all shapes and sizes. No. So I'm actually wearing some type of, these aren't velour, but they are kind of velour-ish. Cream sweatpants. Yeah, yours are velour. And then the hoodie.
I be getting my fabrics wrong.
Right. Well, not all the time. But remember that hoodie I was telling you about? I said I should go back and get this hoodie.
Yeah.
It said read more, talk less.
Yeah.
So I went back and got the hoodie. I got it from Uncle Bobby's coffee shop, which is in Philadelphia in Germantown area, owned by a black man. Got to support the black businesses. But yeah, I love this hoodie. Read more, talk less. Words to live by, people.
That is your style.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you will buy
Yeah.
A shirt, a hoodie with a saying on it.
Yes, because I don't wear shirts or anything with a saying on it because I could not care less. No, actually, no. Remember I think we had this conversation. I was saying, like, I'll wear something that says something that I agree with. Yeah. Versus something that says somebody's name. Yeah. So I will never wear, like...
I'm opposite.
Yeah, you're opposite. I'm not going to wear something that says Milano DeRouche across the chest.
Why?
I'm not into it. I'm just not into like the brand name being across your, maybe like a little logo in the corner, but the brand name, bro, I can't do it.
I wouldn't wear a shirt with more than two words.
More than 2 words.
I don't know. I would wear anything.
What's that shirt that you have that says like boy dad or something? It says something. I'm just like, how does this relate to you at all? Remember you was like, oh,
Mama's boy?
Yeah, is it Mama's boy? Mm-hmm. Yes, it doesn't make sense because you're not a boy.
It was around that time. It was a weird phase, but first of all, the girl that was coming in there, she was selling shirts. She only had 4 left. Okay. And I'm like, I could just support a business. I think the shirt was $10. Mm-hmm. And she was just walking up and down 52nd Street. You know, 52nd Street, they sell whatever.
Right.
She got me.
Okay.
You
just wanted to support.
Yeah.
But you wear the shirt.
So she had shirts that said beauty and something. I didn't like none of those shirts.
But Mama's boy stood out to you. Okay.
Mama's boy. Like this was around that time we was calling everybody like our blooders. Remember we were saying it?
What is this?
It's my blooder.
Never heard that in my life. In my entire life.
You my blooder.
No. What is happening? What does that mean? Please don't call me that. What is it? Because
my blooder.
No. Does that mean like your blood? Like your family?
Yeah.
Okay, but we're not real family though.
But you know when y'all get close, you be like, my brother.
Okay.
You my bro.
No, because I'm a female. But then I wouldn't even want somebody to say you're my sis.
But females
just call me Monica.
Females were saying it too.
I've never heard anybody say that.
My brothers. I love my brothers.
I just like English. Just like the English language to me is just so good. Let's just not even add any more words. We're not even using enough of the words that exist. Maybe let's just focus on learning those and not make up any different ones.
I were around some boys. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Whose shirt you got on?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, I didn't really think this went through."
Right. Because it says Mama's boy. They might question.
Right. Didn't think this went through.
But if you're like supporting the LGBTQ, then you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, say it's like it's to support, you know, the movement.
I'm like, this is my shirt. He's like, no, I'm like, I'm dead serious. This is my shirt.
Right.
I wasn't lying. This was really my shirt.
Was she trying to talk to you?
No.
Not
I wore it for pajamas. I was over some boy house and I wore it for pajamas.
Okay.
That was a wrong.
Wrong
choice. Not have done it.
Wrong choice of like PJs. All right. What's our fashion topic today, Zee?
This is for our seamstress, our tailors, our beginners. This episode is for you guys.
Yes.
So if you are
cutting sew fan.
You know, a lot of people actually don't know their equipment, their sewing equipment. Mm-hmm.
I believe you.
A lot of people actually don't know what to buy, how to start. And you can just listen to this podcast, this episode, and all your problems go away.
For sure. It's a lot of base stuff that you need.
Yeah.
That you're going to end up using every day or that you're going to want to use every day that kind of just save your life in so many different levels. Mm-hmm. As a cut and sew designer, as a seamstress, as a tailor, as a fashion designer.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different things that students or people who are just getting started don't really know. Mm-hmm. And that's almost in all realms. Like, as a designer who's getting stuff manufactured, as a designer who's trying to be a stylist, as a designer who's trying to do that. It's so many intro points that over time you just learn. But we're going to kind of give you guys a bit of it for the cut and sew seamstress tailor community.
Okay. You want to go name back and forth? Go back and forth.
Sure.
You name something, I name something.
Okay. You want to start?
Yeah. So, I feel like my favorite tool, love, hate, no, I love it, the seam ripper.
Oh, man, I was going to say that.
That's my favorite tool.
Yeah.
I would recommend buying a lot.
A lot of seam rippers.
Yeah, buying a lot of seam rippers because they get lost so easily, and then you find them days later.
Almost like bobby pins. Where do all the seam rippers go?
You'll lose it and you'll find it later, like a couple days later.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Should I say what a seam ripper is?
Of course.
Well, a seam ripper is a seam ripper.
Girl.
It's this little tool, and it's a hand tool, and usually when you mess up on something, you just unstitch it. It's the faster way to unstitch it because it's actually really hard to use scissors or take something apart without the seam ripper. But the seam ripper is, you just literally just glide it, or you can do it one by one.
Right. I agree. Seam ripper is definitely something you're probably going to end up using every day.
Yes.
Not because you're messing up all the time, but sometimes you just want to touch up a seam or do something, and you can just take out the stitches if you messed up a straight stitch or did a little zigzag in one place. You can just do it over.
Also, sometimes you sew on the wrong side. Sometimes you'll sew something backwards.
Yeah.
From not paying attention, you'll be like, oh man.
Yeah. So you can just quickly remove it with that. I want to say snippers.
Oh yeah,
I love snippers. I am a snipper happy person.
Do I like snippers?
I like snippers only because so sometimes I'll use a snipper as a seam ripper.
Yeah, I see you do it.
But also to clip threads as I'm sewing. A lot of people, and you frustrate me, don't clip threads as you're sewing. As you sew each stitch, each seam, you sew one shoulder, then you sew the second shoulder. No. After you sew the first shoulder, snip the threads.
When I first
then
started,
go to the second shoulder.
When I first started, I used to always forget to snip the threads. And then you said something.
Yes.
But once you get into the habit of it,
you gotta get into the habit of it.
When you see your finished product and
it look a mess.
Yeah.
It looks a mess. Snip your seams as you go. After each stitch, you need to be snipping your seams.
Yes.
It's just, I remember, so back when I worked in manufacturing, there was a person whose job was quality control, and their whole job was to snip seams and threads to clean them up to make it look professional. 8 hours a day, all they did was take the work from all the different sewers, all the different sample makers, and go through each garment and snip their threads. And she would sometimes take my garments, and she would be like, Monica, I've been looking through each one. I can't find anything to do. I'm like, yeah, because I snip as I go. I don't understand why you would make things. It's just so unneat. I don't like it. And your customers don't like it. It looks messy. Sometimes you'll get a product from a clothing store and the threads aren't snipped. Oh my God.
Remember, I'm not going to say names, but somebody has a bathing suit line. Her bathing suit line came out, and I think it was her very first drop. And the manufacturer didn't snip. They had strings. The threads was messed up.
Horrible.
And somebody put it on TikTok, and he was like, look at this.
A mess. A mess. I love snippers. Snippers for the win. Also, because I have different seamstresses and different people working under me, if you're right-handed or left-handed, snippers work the same way. And I love that because I have a lot of people who are left-handed, and it's frustrating because with the different scissors, left-hand people have their own type of scissors, and all I buy is right-hand scissors. So, I mean, not that I couldn't invest in a left-hand scissor. I just, with the left-handed. But the snippers are just easy to use, quick, and it doesn't take too much thought for people to pass the snipper or use the snipper. So yeah, snippers for the win. Easy, quick.
Speaking of scissors,
useful. Speaking of scissors, what?
Oh, scissors.
It's your turn. Let's go.
There's nothing really to say about scissors.
You need sharp ones.
I was about to say.
You said there's nothing to say.
I said there's nothing really to say, but you need some good scissors. Invest in good scissors. Some good quality scissors. And don't be afraid to, in a couple months, buy new scissors. You always going to have to buy new scissors.
Stainless steel.
Yeah. What's your favorite brand?
I have no clue. The ones I have now say West something. They say West something. I don't know what it says. Maybe Westbrook. I don't know. It's West something. But they're stainless steel scissors. I've had them for a while. It's the silver pair that I have downstairs. Yeah, them. Really good scissors. Yeah. Also, another thing to say about scissors, don't use your fabric scissors on anything else. Yeah. Because it'll mess up the scissors. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Let me tell you.
What?
When I first started sewing, I used to sew out of my mom's house. So it used to not be scissors in the house. So they would, if I wasn't there, they'd come in my room and use my scissors for just anything in the house. And I had to argue with them and tell them that they are messing up my scissors. Yeah, you cannot do that.
You cannot do that. So don't use it on paper. Don't use it on plastic. Don't use it on anything other than fabric. Yeah. Or else you will end up going through scissors all the time. Yeah. Use your fabric scissors. Have a designated pair of stainless steel quality scissors for your fabric, and anything else that you need to cut, buy a separate pair of scissors for that. Yeah.
And when you cut, don't chop, because your garment is gonna look choppy. Yeah. So just cut a little bit to the middle, open again, and keep doing it to the middle.
You gotta figure out how to glide the scissors. It's an art to it.
It's That's
a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. Your scissors is really important. Every tool is important, but your scissors is important. I guess scissors and rotary cutters can go hand in hand because it depends on what type of seamstress you are. Rotary cutter is a rotary cutter. It's just really like
it cuts in bulk. Yeah, you can put more layers. Yeah. So if you're doing if you're cutting several fabrics at once, that's what you would use a rotary cutter for.
We don't really use rotary cutters. I have one.
Yeah, I have one as well. I have an electric one and a regular one, but the only time I really used it consistently was when I was doing 1,000 face masks. Yeah, and I was cutting through.
I have an electric
cotton every 5 seconds.
I have an electric rotary cutter. Yeah, it cut through 10 layers. Yeah, it came out perfect. But I just don't use it because I never cut in bulk.
Or if I cut in bulk, it's usually different sizes, like one small, one medium, one large. So I just use regular scissors for those. Another tool I can think of is measuring tape. You need measuring tape. I have how many measuring tapes across the store, and I have them in every room. Yes. Downstairs, upstairs, in the back, in the front, hanging off the chair, hanging off the mannequin. I also have my tables. I have inches. Yeah. I have tape, and inches marked on all of my cut tables, on all of my sewing tables. Yes. You need to be able to measure things as you go.
Yes, measurements is important.
Measurements are super important, and get several measuring tapes. They're like $1. You can get them for less online, I'm sure.
I paid $20 for mine.
For measuring tape?
Yep.
Like a measuring tape? Okay. You lost your mind. Where is it?
I haven't.
Your mind? Your mind.
Oh.
Because you lost it.
No. Let me tell you why. It was an emergency, and I had to order it on Instacart. So the measuring tape was $5.
It made me angry.
And then the $15 and came from them just dropping it off.
Oh my God.
So I paid $20 for it.
And you couldn't find a CVS or a Rite Aid?
I did. The CVS and Rite Aid nowadays, terrible. No stores have nothing in stock. Everything is online now.
Oh, that's a mess. Walmart, anywhere.
Yeah.
Grocery stores have measuring tape.
Walmart, I didn't go to the grocery store. My Walmart was just too far.
Yeah. So I would never. Emergency. Blasphemy. I recently had an emergency. I went to CVS and got it for like $2.99, and even that was a lot for me. Yeah. But also on my keys, I have measuring tape. Like that little white thing on my keys, that's measuring tape. I always have measuring tape with me. I measure things constantly. Know the difference between inches and centimeters. A lot of people don't know. They be using the back of the measuring tape with centimeters to measure things instead of the inches.
Wow, some people do. When I go to other designers' websites, they use centimeters.
Okay. I mean, every other country in the world goes by centimeters. On my website, I have the size chart in both inches and centimeters. But if you live in America, you will be measuring your customers in inches. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't even know which side they're supposed to be using. Mm-hmm. So just look into it.
I'm going to say muslin and your fabric paper.
Okay.
I mean, not your fabric paper. Your pattern paper.
Okay.
Important. Because that's the start.
Explain what muslin is.
Muslin is a practice fabric. So, you basically just transfer your pattern onto the muslin to make sure your pattern is correct. Make sure your design is correct. Everything before you actually cut the pattern out on your real fabric.
Right. And pattern paper.
Oh, pattern paper is just where you make your pattern on the paper. You make your pattern on.
Yeah. I would say going in that vein, slopers. So slopers are like a harder, stiffer version of patterns, but ones that you use all the time. So your standard front bodice, your standard back, your standard skirt, your standard size 8 pants. Slopers are usually in size 8, size 6 or 8, just because that's the average medium. Mm-hmm. So, and when I was in college, they always had us do slopers, make them, and then we would use those same slopers for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. And now I still have my same slopers from college. Like the slopers that are hanging up in the basement are the same ones. Mm-hmm. Slopers are very important because if you end up using the same pattern over and over, but pattern paper is very thin. If it rips, it's annoying. Yeah. So just make a sloper of your favorite patterns. Yeah. That way you can always have it hanging up when you need to do your cut.
Mm. Are they called push pins?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Push pins. Mm-hmm. So important.
Also, like bobby pins, where do they all go?
Yeah, that's what you'll be spending most of your money on.
Most of your money is on pins.
Not most of it, but a lot of it.
Yeah.
Pins are important because it's what when you're sewing or when you're cutting, it's what holds everything in place. Mm-hmm. So I used to not use pins at all.
Mm-hmm. And you had sloppy work, didn't you?
Yep. When I first started.
Yeah.
I think I was just anxious to see the finished product. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, F them pins, I don't want to.
Right.
But then I started using pins, and it's a huge difference. Yeah. So use your push pins.
Yeah. To keep the front and the back aligned.
Yes.
It's pin important. The armpit, pin the waist, pin the hip.
Before you sew, pin it.
Yeah.
Pleats. Mm-hmm. Important. Pins.
Yeah, you need your pins for pleats.
Pleat.
And measuring tape. So you can get it every 2 inches. Yes. Every 2 inches. Every 2 inches. Yeah. Let me think. A sewing machine.
I was going to say that last, but...
No, because we could go deep at the sewing machines. Home sewing machine, I would say start with a home sewing machine instead of an industrial one.
Yeah, definitely.
I first learned how to sew, fun fact, on industrial sewing machines. Because I started really sewing when I got to college. And I just learned on an industrial sewing machine. So it was hard for me to go from industrial to home when I wanted to actually launch a business outside of college, and I didn't want to spend or have that much to spend on a sewing machine.
Home sewing machines actually work really good though.
Yeah.
A lot of people use home sewing machines. Like your favorite designer, the biggest designer. And I'd be surprised. But home sewing machines, don't think you gotta rush to get an industrial sewing machine.
Right.
You do not.
You do not. You just have to know how to sew.
Yep.
It doesn't matter the machine as long as you know how to sew. As long as you know a straight stitch from a curvy stitch. As long as you're practicing your lines.
And the main difference in the industrial machine is the speed, really. They just move. Well, they just move faster. They're a better machine, of course, but it's really... The stitch will look the same. It'll be the same as a home machine. A home machine,
and you can adjust the stitch on your home machine too if you want it tighter or looser.
But it's really about the speed.
Yeah,
like it's not. Don't overthink the industrial part.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Your chalk.
Okay.
Your sewing chalk. So when you do your measurements, you can the chalk will come right off of the fabric easily. So if you need to mark a measurement or anything, the chalk is important. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I would get white chalk. I used blue chalk before.
Okay.
And that was dumb.
Why?
It went through the fabric. I put it on the back of the fabric so it together, but you could see the blue part that I marked on there.
Okay.
So.
All right. I never used chalk outside of college.
Okay.
When you use chalk, you are marking what? Where you want to stitch?
For example, pleats.
Okay.
I don't know. You use chalk at random times.
Okay.
Not every time, but random times.
Okay. Yeah. Let me think. Oh, foot. Okay, so a foot is the part of the sewing machine that your needle that is pressing against your fabric that your needle is going over. So different stitches require different foots. Mm-hmm. And there's a straight stitch foot, there's a zipper foot, there's a leather foot, there's a anything you can think of, denim foot. There's a foot that will do the hem for you. Yeah. There's a foot that will do a ruffle for you.
Mm-hmm. I have that. I have that one.
Yeah. Different foots can make a difference in not only the time it takes to sew something, but the quality of the work. Yeah. Foots can do measurements for you.
I love presser foots. I mean, not presser foots.
Like foots in general.
Yeah, foots.
So industrial sewing machines have more foot options, but home machines, you can get different foots online from the manufacturer or different places as well. Mm-hmm. But think about your foots. If you're sewing and you're not sure what I'm talking about, look up a video. What is a foot on the sewing machine? It's the part that your fabric is sliding under, and you switch out your foots for different purposes. Yeah, but it can really make a difference in the quality of your work. So having a variety of foots for your sewing machine.
Start your foot collection.
Don't
be afraid to invest. I love foots.
You love foots.
I love them.
We should name the podcast today, this episode, I Love Foots.
Ooh, I love foots.
Nobody will tune in. They're like, what the heck? Sergers. Okay.
You need a straight stitch, and you need a serger. And just like the straight stitch, we have industrial sergers and home sergers. Like you need a straight stitch, a sewing machine, and you need a serger.
For sure.
Yeah, you need both of them. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between them? One has one needle, one has 4.
Yeah, so a straight stitch machine will often just have one needle and then the bobbin underneath. A serger will have 4 to 5 needles, so you have 4 to 5 thread spools going at once, creating the serge. The serge is like that seam on the inside of your pants, of your shirts. You'll see a thicker 4-thread stitch compared to a straight top stitch that you see on the top. On the inside of your clothing, you'll usually see a serge stitch. Yeah. 2 main machines that you need if you're really going to start sewing.
I love the serge. Mm-hmm. It just looks so much well put together, like neater. Yeah,
for sure.
You can use it. You use the serge for hems mostly. Yeah, I didn't learn it when I was learning hems. I didn't learn that technique. I learned that from you.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do this.
Sergers are usually made for stretch fabrics. Yeah, if you want to make, like a bathing suit.
Yeah, but if you're sewing a fabric that's not stretched, you can serge the pieces individually and then with the straight stitch sew together. That way it finishes off your fabrics to where it doesn't fray.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good way to use the serger, so that your fabric doesn't fray. It's industrial. They have industrial and they have home machines.
Yeah,
both work really good.
Both work really well. I use the Brother 16. I want to say 16370 as a serger, and I love it. It's one of the main machines that I use. Yeah. In addition to that, let me think. I would definitely recommend Well, yeah, bobbins for sure. I always get extra bobbins.
Yeah, you should have extra bobbins.
You should always have extra bobbins.
You're gonna change the color of the thread on your machine, and if you're gonna have one bobbin, you're gonna waste so much thread.
You're gonna waste time too.
Time and money with the thread.
Yeah.
So, have about 20 bobbins.
Yeah, at least.
Threads.
The more bobbins, the better. I always use multi-lock thread. It's the bigger spool. It's usually around like $3 to $4 each.
Definitely.
I have a huge collection of just different colors. And also have a variety of colors in your sewing station. Don't just buy colors based on what you might work on a lot. Just I have a rainbow collection of threads, and anytime I'm matching a different fabric, I just have it right there to pull from. I'm not running back and forth to the fabric store.
I remember somebody who knocked over the threads.
All of them?
I was so mad.
Was I there?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say, because I don't remember.
It was when I had, you rented it out.
Oh, wow. And you put it all back together?
All of those threads.
Yeah.
For the most part, I put all the colors back together.
Yeah.
But I think you came in the next day like, well, what happened? I'm like, they done did this, they done that.
Oh, man. That was a least day.
My worries.
The mannequins were crazy. Oh, my God. Too much.
That's what they did. They knocked over the mannequin. And the mannequin knocked over...
Absolutely not.
The thread.
It was too much going on. I'm trying to think if there's any more
thread bobbins.
I mean, zippers. I always have let's just name all the things I have a collection of, so I don't have to leave out every time I need something. Zippers. I have assorted zippers in different colors, different sizes. Elastic. I have in different sizes, and I only usually have it in black and white, but I always have it in like 1/2 inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1 inch, 2 inch. Horsehair. I stock horsehair braid, which I always use like 3 to 4 inch wide horsehair, and I always order in bulk, 30 to 40 yards.
Hand needles and regular needles for the sewing machine. Keep them in bulk because they're gonna break.
Let's talk about differences in sewing needles. There is stretch needles, there's leather needles, there's universal needles, but there's different types of universal needles. There's 70 over 110, there's 90 over 110, there's 90 over 140. Know the difference.
Yes.
Like 70 over 110 is going to be for a lighter weight fabric universal needle, but 90 over 114 or 120 is going to be for a heavier weight fabric of a universal needle. Get assorted needles. You're going to need them. The reason why your needle is breaking is because you're using the wrong needle.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. So they're just like, oh, well, it's the fabric. That's why this needle is breaking. No, you're using the wrong needle.
Yeah. You're
using a stretch needle for a sequence, or you're using a stretch needle for a leather. It's so much.
We give you a free game.
I'm trying to think of other things I just have like in abundance, just so I don't leave the store every 5 seconds. The different little tools that you need to fix your sewing machine, like the little screwdriver, the little
don't lose it.
What's that thing you also use for your eyebrows with tweezers? The little duster for the inside of the machine. You need a collection of tiny tools, and you need to have at least 2 or 3 packs of those tiny tools. Because when you lose one, then all of a sudden your needle comes out, or you need to switch a needle, and you can't switch the needle because you don't have that little screwdriver or that tiny thing. And sometimes you need to open up your sewing machine to get a bead out or a feather or something stuck in there. You need all these little tiny tools to fix your machine. Little light bulbs for the lamp in the sewing machine.
Wow, everything is important. Everything is important.
Yeah.
What else?
I'm gonna say anything else?
I feel like we're missing something major, but I feel like we covered everything.
I feel like we covered a lot.
That was everything.
Yeah.
No, that was everything.
I'm sure it was everything.
Yeah, it's always something.
But to get you started, that's a good way to get you started. Maybe we should put together like a little Amazon pack, like things you need to Amazon storefront, things you need to get started in sewing, just to have the basics or things you're going to use all the time, every day.
I said that, didn't I?
No,
I did. I text you. You didn't reply.
Oh, maybe I ain't read it.
I said we should start an Amazon storefront.
Did you text me that?
Yep, I texted you.
It was probably 1 a.m., child.
But you know I'm up for work.
And you know I'm asleep for life. Like, if you text me in the middle of the night, then I read it in the middle of the night, and it was just a part of my dream.
Right. I said that. I was like, we should start an Amazon storefront.
Oh, we definitely should. If y'all want us to, let us know in the comments. Speak to us, please. All right, I think that was a good episode.
That was a great episode. I feel like we don't talk to our seamstress.
Yeah,
she feel like we do.
Well,
I feel like we don't talk to our seamstress enough. Mm-hmm. But that's who it's really about. That's not who it's really about. But
it's for everyone.
That's the target audience.
That's how we started.
Yeah. I want y'all.
I want y'all to win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. Don't forget to count your blessings
before you count your money.
Have a great day.
Bye.